Hello and welcome to another episode of Rico'S Rants. I'm your host, Rico DiGiorgio. Okay, so to avoid the glare that's reflecting, I'm going to just take my glasses off. Okay, before I begin, this is going to be I'll just put these on. It's a little bit better. This is a spoiler-filled rant for Avengers Infinity War. So if you've not seen Avengers Infinity War, skip this video. I don't even feel comfortable saying what I'm going to say because it's only been out for a couple days, but like, good fucking God, I need to let these emotions out, man. Like, I can't bottle this shit up. It is too insane. It is too much. It is too real. It is too raw. So again, if you have not seen Avengers Infinity War, skip this video. Go see it. This is definitely, before I even fucking give the review, this is definitely a go out and fucking see it. Don't wait for it on DVD. Don't wait for it on Blu-ray. Don't even wait for it on 4K. Go out, see the fucking movie. Because this is a pure... Like, this deserves to be in a theater, and you need to have that theater experience. Okay, all that shit being said, wow. Fucking wow. So many emotions. Okay, if you know the history a little bit, you know that this has been a decade coming. This has been 18 films coming. So it all has led up to this. Ever since the Avengers came out in 2012, and they had that little bonus scene. And by the way, I'm going to spoil all the Marvel movies, or at least I will possibly spoil the Marvel movies. So if you're not caught up, what the fuck are you doing? Ever since Thanos had that small little grin at the end of the Avengers, I was salivating. I was like, oh my fuck, dude, Thanos? This is insane. Like, Marvel's not fucking around. That... I did a rant of Iron Man, and I respect Iron Man, the movie, and I love the Iron Man movie, and it sets it started the whole thing. Whoa. Like, Infinity War just fucking knocked every single Marvel movie I've seen out of the park. Like, it's not even the same fucking sport at this point. Like, you know what? Forget DC. It's never gonna compare. It's all the 10-year arc and emotion and the fact that we lashed on these characters for a decade, went through all the sequels, saw every other fucking movie that may include one of them, and referencing other shit, watching all the fucking Netflix shows, watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that all leads to this. This is the culmination of geekdom at its finest. Basic fucking plot. It's not even a basic plot. Like, they planned this for a decade. If you know what I'm talking about, you know all about the Infinity Stones or Infinity Gems if you're a comic purist. Though they started as MacGuffins, and a MacGuffin is basically just a plot device to get the plot going. The Infinity Stones were all the objects in the random Marvel movies, like the Tesseract in the Avengers and Captain America, the first one, the fucking Ether, the Power Stone, the Time Stone in Doctor Strange, and so on and so forth. So all those fucking things is when the Big Bang happened. All these stones like just went off, and they represented and were the physical forms of what basically made existence happen. They represent all the elements: time, power, soul, energy, all that shit. So Thanos, this big purple muscled up motherfucker, played amazingly by Josh Brolin. I was already like, dude, he's killing it. And that was just in his small cameos in Guardians of the Galaxy and fucking Avengers and Age of Ultron. I was already like, dude, he's doing a great job. He made me hunger more for his. And when I saw him in this, I was like, is it possible to give him an Oscar? Like, can we give him an Oscar? Because it's some of the greatest villainy work I've ever seen. And at the same time, like, it's impressive enough where you hate this fucking guy, but you feel for him and you, like, you know, every actor who plays a great villain, they have to make you kind of look at their point of view. And a villain who, you know, is just straight up villained is boring. It can be sometimes entertaining it depends on the character, but for like this guy, Thanos, I mean, they dropped a little bit of a subplot about how like he he wants to restore balance in the universe by wiping out half of the universe's population to restore balance and to help it grow. But there's a whole part in the comics where he's like in love with death and how he's trying to bring death to impress death. Now, because Hela is literally the goddess of death in Thor Ragnarok, I guess they can't really do that now because, spoiler, she's dead. Can death die? I don't know. So, I guess they dropped that subplot. Okay, I'm so fucking just enamored. Like, look, I saw this at noon on a Monday because I want to make sure it was not going to be jam-packed. And you know what? There was a decent amount of people, but not as much. Like, everyone's like, fuck, I gotta go to work. I'll see it later tonight. That kind of shit. Decent amount of people were just like, I'm off on Monday. I'm going for a matinee. When I walked out of there with my friend, it was like 2:40. It's a 2 hour and 40-minute movie. So basically 3 hours. And when he and I got out of there, we were just like, trying to be very respectful, not talk about it as we're walking back to his car. We're just trying to bottle it all up, and we're just numb and just fucking like in shock. Like I'm not normally ever speechless, and he even said, like, have you ever known us to ever be that speechless walking out of a movie? And I said, yeah, one time, Max Payne. It was for the opposite fucking reason. We had to go get a drink. Like, I don't feel well. I got a headache, and I'm battling a cold. But I was like, Michael, I need a fucking drink right now. Like, I need to calm down. Like, that was so insane. So the plot. Thanos wants to get these Infinity Stones, all of them, attach it to his Infinity Gauntlet, and then he can literally do whatever he wants with a snap of his fingers. He can unmake the world. He can remake the world in his own image. He can fuck with time. He can teleport to any location he wants. He can use the Power Stone to fucking just knock people out like senseless. He can do anything. He becomes a god, essentially. And his reasoning is because he saw his own home planet, Titan, too many mouths to feed and not enough food. And he spoke to people he spoke to his planet and being like, we have got to, kill off half the population. I know it's radical and it's crazy, but it's the only way to do it. So they called him the Mad Titan. So in his point of view, like I said, I was talking about earlier, Josh Brolin, he is of the opinion that you have to basically be a lawyer for your character. You may not agree with your character as a person, but as a character, as an actor, you have to believe that character deep down. You have to represent them. You have to defend them. And as fucked as it is, like, you can kind of see where he's coming from, even if you don't agree with it. Oh my god, Josh Brolin fucking killed it, man. Which makes me kind of like crestfallen because I'm like, man, he's not going to kill it as Cable. He'll be great as Cable, but it will not compare to Thanos. He'll be a great Cable. And I kind of am looking forward to how they're going to, like, reference this movie in Deadpool 2 because it's gonna break the fourth wall like crazy. So like having Deadpool like be like, "Hey, I know what you did, Thanos." Like I'm waiting for that. Oh God, he was so good. So he wants to go to these Infinity Stones that we've seen throughout the 18 films. Oh my God, I can't fucking believe this shit. It finally came. So immediately the movie starts with the fucking Thor's ship and all the Asgardians that have survived, including Loki, including Hulk, are like decimated by Thanos and his men. You don't even see the battle; you just see the aftermath. And Heimdall, played by Idris Elba, is in it, and he is just fucked up. And Thanos is like saying, "Give me the Infinity Stone. Give me the Tesseract." And Loki's like, "I don't have it. I don't have it." And then he's like starts torturing Thor, and that's that part where he's like squeezing Thor's head in the trailer. Oh my God. Loki says, "All right," pulls it out, and at the same time tries to kill Thanos. Thanos grabs Loki by the throat and breaks his fucking neck. Kills Loki. It's nice to know that Loki's last act was him trying to save the universe, that he finally understood wrong. Even though he's still arguably one of the greatest, he's definitely one of the, up there for the greatest Marvel villains. Thanos fucked that up. Like, Thanos just said, "Oh, you think you're the greatest Marvel villain?" Done. So now Thor, and Chris Hemsworth was awesome in this. Thor was so fucking good in this. Now Thor not only has like a obligation to save the universe, now he's like, "Oh, dude, this guy fucking killed my brother. I can't even." So Heimdall, before he gets fucking stabbed by Thanos, he sends Hulk to Earth. But before that happens, Hulk comes out of nowhere and attacks Thanos, and you're thinking, "Oh yeah, this is, no, what the fuck?" Hulk gets his ass handed to him by Thanos, and Thanos is moving faster and more brutal than the Hulk. You didn't think anybody can go up against the Hulk like this. It is so insane how Thanos just easily outmaneuvers him and knocks his ass down. Like, you actually see blood dripping down like Hulk's nostrils, and you're just like, I didn't know the Hulk could fucking bleed. Holy shit. So Heimdall transports him as his last fucking act. He sends him to Earth, and then Thanos just fucking blows up the ship, and Thor lands on the windshield of the Milano, the fucking Guardians ship. Now, I'll talk about the Guardians. I'll just talk about them now. They're all represented. One of the problems that I thought was going to happen didn't happen. All the characters that you think are not going to get enough screen time, get enough screen time. Even the minor characters get enough screen time where you give a shit. It gives they have enough dialogue. They have enough action sequences. They do enough. The major players, Iron Man, the Guardians, Thor, even Spider-Man, get a ton of screen time and dialogue and action sequences. Arguably, the main character of this is Thanos. It's all his story. It's all about him. He has probably just as much screen time as Iron Man and Captain America. Like, he is the big bad, and he's the main player. The Guardians. So, they're all there. They're all there. And if you know the lore, Gamora is the adoptive daughter of Thanos. He took her, and he was invading her planet, and he was doing exactly what he said he was doing, which was go to planet and cut half the population if they need it. So he kills half her world, including her family. And he sees that she's got a fighter's spirit, so he adopts her. And he's actually gentle. He's actually sweet. Like, she's about to look at the destruction as his men or his army kills half the population, and he shields her from it. It's really a weird feeling that this villain shows kindness. He shows empathy. He shows love. He shows human qualities. He's completely fucking nuts and psychotic, but he has a heart. And that's very important for later in the film when, if you know what I'm talking about, again, spoilers, in order to get the Soul Stone, he sacrifices Gamora. He takes Gamora with her because she knows the location of the Soul Stone. He's like, all right, I'm taking you with me. If it's not here, I'm going to kill Nebula, who he has captured and tortured. So they go to the location, and they're greeted, and I knew this was going to happen. I fucking predicted this years ago. I knew Red Skull was going to show up. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's not played by Hugo Weaving. It looks like him, and it sounds enough like him where you're like, wow, that kind of doesn't sound like Hugo Weaving, but it's just enough. It's an impersonator. One of those guys who's just spot on, does impressions. I don't know his name, but he is phenomenal. But I fucking knew Red Skull was going to come back because, like, he disappeared in First Avenger. He held the Tesseract and just disappeared. Perfect way of bringing him back. And he's sort of the protector and guardian of the Soul Stone now. Kind of want to know why the fuck he can float, but whatever. So in order to get the Soul Stone, you have to offer a sacrifice. And you have to offer a sacrifice for something that you love. And Gamora says, oh, the irony. Like, you don't love anything. You failed. The fates have told you that you are unworthy because you can't love anything. And he turns, and he's got a tear leaking down his face. And she says, you're crying for yourself? And then fucking Red Skull is like, those are not tears for himself. And he, like, oh shit. And then he just takes her and says, I'm sorry. And then throws her off this cliff. And then he gets the Soul Stone. Oh my. And she's dead. Like, she lands, and her body's broken, and she's dead. Here's the thing. A lot of people die. Now, I still have hope that maybe in Avengers 4, some of them come back. But you have to look at it like, who has their contracts still open? And who is getting sequels to their films? Doctor Strange is getting a sequel. Black Panther is getting a sequel. Spider-Man is getting a sequel. Guardians of the Galaxy is getting a sequel. Now, they can minus some players, but if the main players are dead, they can't make a sequel, so some of them are going to have to come back. And I'll talk about how maybe later. I don't know if I want to ruin everything, but oh god, I want to ruin everything. So at the same time, the Guardians and Thor team up, and he is on his quest of replacing his hammer, Mjolnir, which was destroyed by fucking Hela in Ragnarok. He wants to get the Stormbreaker, which is just basically the same thing, but a battle axe. But in order to do that, he's got to go to this fucking, like, mystical realm that forges that type of shit. The one that forged Mjolnir. So, half the crew, it's him, Rocket, and Groot. They go to fucking this weird dwarf planet where Peter fucking Dinklage shows up. And I thought it was really interesting how Peter Dinklage is a dwarf in real life and can really only normally play dwarfs on film. He's playing a dwarf, but he's a gigantic dwarf, which makes me think, who the fuck are the giants on his planet, dude? If he's a dwarf, holy shit. But it was really kind of like seeing Hagrid, but with like kind of stumpy arms and legs. It was really fucking weird. Peter Dinklage was great, and he forges this thing, and they have this battle axe thing, and at the same time, Hulk lands in New York, and he lands in the fucking Doctor Strange's fucking whatever, and Doctor Strange and Hulk and Wong and Iron Man all team up. So there's multiple teams. So you have that team, then you have the Guardians and Thor team, then you have the other half of the Guardians, which is Peter, Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis, and Nebula. No, Nebula's not with them. Nebula shows up with Iron Man. And then they team up with Iron Man and Benedict. They get in this big fight, thinking like, who the fuck are you? I'm trying to find Thanos. Where's Gamora? And who the fuck are you? And bang, bang, bang. Oh, and Spider-Man is with them as well. And they're all out in space. So oh my god, it is so hard to keep up with what the fuck I saw. I'm all over the place, but fuck it. Um, Spider-Man had some great chemistry and with Tony, and I did not prepare for it, man. I did not. I didn't. I thought I was prepared. I thought I was prepared for this whole fucking movie. I'm like, I know some people are gonna die and it'll hurt. I did not expect how I felt after this fucking movie. So after that, the other team is Vision and Scarlet Witch. Vision has got some like camo, like human skin now that he's using to like walk around Scotland with Scarlet Witch. They just need a break. They just need to like blossom their romance, and then fucking because Vision has the Mind Stone in his forehead. I mean, it's kind of clear he's a target. Like no matter what, if Thanos wins, that means Vision dies. So Thanos has sent some of his fucking men, his goons, and I think they're his children too, after Vision, and they fuck him up and they wound his ass. At the same time, Captain America, who's going by the Nomad moniker, but he's not calling himself Nomad, he's just basically given up the Captain America title and shield, and he's got basically the same costume but with no star emblem. So it's very dirty, it's very black, it's very just. He's sort of still a fugitive. So that's him, and oh my god, so many fucking characters. Him, Black Widow, Falcon, and I guess that's it. So they come to their rescue. They all go to Wakanda because Wakanda has enough resources and medical, scientific bullshit where they think they can extract the Infinity Stone from Vision's forehead without killing him. They think they can separate the two, blow up the Infinity Stone, so that way at least Thanos doesn't have that one. They at least take one off the board. So Vision's and he's fucking injured, so he can't like even do much. So they're in Wakanda. So a good chunk of the battle is in Wakanda, and that's that slow motion running scene. Blah blah blah. Hulk is there. War Machine is there. So it's just these two separate battles, and they go together seamlessly. And everything that's happening is exactly what you want to be. Even if you're like dreading what's going to happen, it's such a perfect storyline. It's such a perfect way they constructed it. It's so fucking amazing how they did this. I mean, I almost want Oscars to be thrown at this movie. One, because Marvel has yet to win an Oscar. Isn't that insane? They've been doing this the MCU has been doing this for 10 years. Never once won an Oscar. Suicide Squad won an Oscar for Best Makeup. You have got to be fucking kidding me. This movie needs to earn at least one award. They have to have one. This is by far more of an emotional charge than I had with any of the last Star Wars films, with maybe the exception of Force Awakens. I love The Force Awakens, and it brought a whole lot of joy back to my life. Rogue One was fine. Last Jedi didn't fucking care for. And it kind of made me be like, oh god, I don't know. I'm not excited for Star Wars anymore. Infinity War topped it. The only other film that like gave me this much emotion, it was Logan. Logan brought all the feels. Logan brought all the oh my god moments. Logan spawned really the main official Rico's Rant where I'm drunk and I'm just like, you guys gotta fucking see this. This is amazing. It's so. Alright. So I'm just gonna spoil who dies. Oh god, first I have to talk about the biggest like motherfucking eye roll I've ever had in a movie. So there's a part where Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Star-Lord and Mantis and Drax, they're all going up against Thanos. and they've all working together as a team, and they're all fucking up Thanos, and they kind of pull him down, and they're slowly pulling off the gauntlet, and they almost have it. And Mantis is because she could feel emotion through touching people, and she can inflict emotion through touching them. She's kind of put him in a not a paralysis state, but she's kind of made him asleep or something. But he's still fighting. And she's saying, I feel grief. I feel anguish. He's in mourning. Which makes Peter, who's totally fucking in love and gaga over Gamora, be like, where's Gamora? And Nebula says, it's Gamora. Gamora's dead. And fucking Star-Lord douchebag little fuck, let his emotion get the best of him. And fucking just loses his shit right when they're almost pulling the gauntlet off. It's like halfway off, and all you have to do is get it off his fat purple fucking fingers. And he just goes berserk. That snaps Thanos out of his little fucking like coma or whatever, and he catches the gauntlet, puts it back on, and just fucks it all up. So, Star-Lord needs to fucking turn in his Guardian of the Galaxy card, because he fucked up the universe. He fucked up the galaxy. He fucked this up. He is, at this point, I don't even want him to be in a movie anymore. He dies in the movie, I kind of want him to stay dead. Fuck him. Fuck you, Star-Lord. Star piece of shit. Fuck you. Oh my Christ, dude. Like, they almost had it. They were almost done. But at the same time, yeah, like, it would have ended the movie a whole lot different. But, oh, God, you look at a character and you're just like, how are you still this much of a douche nozzle that you didn't have any growth in your two fucking movies? How? How did you learn nothing? Oh, it's so frustrating. It's so... Ow! I know I'm visceral about this, but like, I can't fucking believe that happened. And what's the outcome? There's a good chunk. And the whole reason why Thanos is fighting these guys is because he wants the Time Stone from Doctor Strange, which is his Eye of Agamotto. So he is fighting them, and now he's got the gauntlet back, and he just knocks them all the fuck out. He takes a fucking spear, or whatever the fuck, a sword, and stabs Tony right in the stomach. And I froze. Because I'm like, oh my God, this is it. And I was starting to well up. I'm like, oh fuck, there goes Tony. What's going to happen? Oh my God. And he even says, Stark. And Tony's like, you know who I am? And he's like, I know who you are. Even like you, I'm cursed with knowledge, or something great, like what the fuck he said. And then he says, I will leave half the galaxy, and I hope they remember you. And then out of nowhere, fucking Benedict Cumberbatch says, wait, let me give you the Time Stone if you spare him. They make a deal. And I have to talk about Benedict Cumberbatch did so much more in this fucking movie than he did in Doctor Strange. He is awesome in this. He unleashes the Sorcerer Supreme power. By the way, Sorcerer Supreme still sounds like something I'd order at fucking Taco Bell, but whatever. He just annihilates fuckers in this, and he's so good in this, and he's so awesome, and he looks so cool. But there's a part where he uses the Time Stone to go forward and to see all the possible outcomes of what will happen. And he goes through like thousands or millions or some shit. I don't remember what it was. It was an exact number. And he said they only survive by one. One question. Why couldn't he use the Time Stone to pause Thanos? I mean, that's really the only logic question. I'm like, couldn't you just paused him, froze Thanos, and then just pulled off the gauntlet and be like, okay, you're done. You know? send him back into a baby. Something like that. But I think in the span of what the fuck was happening, no one was thinking that logically. So Thanos gets the time stone, spares Tony, and then fucks off to Earth. And to get that one, he needs to get visions. So he goes to Vision. He fights Captain America. He fights Black Panther. He fights Scarlet Witch. He fights everybody. He fights... Hulk is having... Bruce Banner is having some, like, Hulk out fucking problems where he can't Hulk out. So he's in the Hulkbuster armor. You only see him as Hulk in the opening. Because, like, and my theory is Hulk was so fucking scared being beaten by Thanos. He's like, I'm not coming out, dude. You're on your own. Fuck this noise. That big purple version of me fucked me up. Fuck that. I think that's what happened. So they're all going up against him, and Cap like does that scene where he's pushing up against his hands and everything. And at the same time, they're stalling Scarlet Witch. They're stalling him enough so that he can't get to Scarlet Witch, and she is extracting. She's going to blow up Vision and the Infinity Stone because she just like. He's like, this is what has to be done. I'm sorry it has to be you. You have to kill me, and I love you. And you're like, oh, God, it's so beautiful. Oh, God. And then she blows him up, blows up the Infinity Stone. And then Thanos walks up to her, says, I understand what you're going through. That doesn't matter. And then he fucking uses the Time Stone, reverses the explosion, so Vision is back intact with the Infinity Stone. The Infinity Stone is back intact, and he's brought back to life. Then he fucking grabs Vision and pulls out the Infinity Stone and kills him again. Like, oh God, poor fucking Vision, dude. He was free. He was done. He sacrificed, and then Thanos like, nope, boom, puts on the final one. Looks at everyone and goes. Now, I read a meme that terrified me, and for a split second, I thought this was what happened. The meme was, what if Thanos snaps his finger and the screen cuts to black? Now, that didn't happen, but the next best thing happened, which was he snaps his fingers, and this is going to give me the feels, man. He wipes out half the existence, but it's not like instant. It's people start dissolving. They turn into sand and fly away. Like, did you ever see Spider-Man 3? Remember how Sandman, when he's like saying goodbye, just like his form just starts flying away in the wind? It was a lot like that. So it shows everyone. So people who die, and I'll talk about my most personal one at the end. Doctor Strange, bye-bye. Black Panther, bye-bye. Mantis goes bye-bye. Drax goes bye-bye. Gamora's already fucking bye-bye. Star-Lord, fuck you, Star-Lord. Bye-bye, you little fuck. He goes bye-bye. Then on the flip side of that, Falcon goes bye-bye. Bucky, who's now known as White Wolf, goes bye-bye. God, it's all so bleh in my fucking brain. Scarlet Witch, I think, goes bye-bye. I think she does. I don't remember. Vision's definitely fucked up. A good chunk of the Wakanda army, a good chunk of the population is just done. So who are the survivors? Cap, Hulk, Black Widow, War Machine, Rhodes, Iron Man, and so the one that impacted me the most. Oh, Nebula's still alive. The one that impacted me the most. Fucking Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm. Just when you thought they were all gone, Spidey, you hear his voice. This is, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And you're like, oh no! And Tony looks at him, and he's just like, I don't feel so good. He crumples, and Tony catches him, and that's when that part in the trailer where Peter says, "I'm sorry." He says, "I'm not ready to go yet." And Tony's just like, "It's okay," and he just fucking drifts up. Oh God, that's what made me fucking start crying. And Michael was like, "Were you fucking crying?" And I'm like, "Fuck you, man, Spider-Man, Dad." And the biggest thing about that is this was Tony's worst fears all in one, just in his face. He is basically the main survivor of the end of the Avengers, which means he and Cap have to work their shit out. He basically stands alone. He has failed the Avengers, and he's seen destruction fall upon him. And he's alive to watch it happen. And there's nothing he can do about it. At the same time, he was the only mentor to Peter Parker. Fuck Peter Quill. Because we never had that Uncle Ben moment with Peter. I was convinced it was going to be the opposite. I thought Tony was going to die because he was going to fill that void for Uncle Ben. He is the Uncle Ben that we now have to accept. I was certain Tony was going to bite the bullet. I did not expect Spidey to go. That threw me the fuck off, and that hit me just in the fucking chuckle feels, and made me fucking like leak out of my face. And then it ends. That's how it ends. It ends with Thanos on some planet resting. Oh, here's the other thing. Thor comes down and fucks up a good chunk of Thanos' army with his new fucking battle axe and just starts... Oh, Groot dies too. Fuck, I forgot about that. And he fucks up all these guys, and he's got his Stormbreaker, and he just wedges that thing right in Thanos' chest. And we're like, he won! Oh shit, no, he didn't fucking win. And Thanos just like, you should have aimed for my head. And pulls it out, and he's fucked up. And then that's when he snaps his fingers. That's what happened. God, I'm all over the place. And then I'm blanking. Did Thor fucking survive? I think Thor survived. Hang on. Sorry, I got... So, yeah. Bonus, then just the credits roll. And you're like, what are we supposed to do now? There's got to be a bonus scene. What the fuck happens? The bonus scene is this. It shows a city, and fucking, oh, God damn it. Hold on. Wait a second. I'm doing a rant. Back off. What? I'm doing a rant. So, the final scene is it shows Nick Fury and Maria Hill, and they're in New York, or they're in some city. Things are exploding, and then like they see destruction going around them, they start disintegrating like everybody else. He does a distress call. They do a distress... Give me those back! They do a distress call. And the distress call, as Nick Fury disintegrates, is it shows the distress call, like, pager. And it's a symbol of Captain Marvel and her colors. And then it ends. And even Michael was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Captain Marvel. Now, okay, if anybody can fucking, like, square up against Thanos and fix some shit, it's got to be Captain Marvel. It's kind of a cheap thing because we don't know shit about Captain Marvel. We have not seen any hint of her. We are getting a Captain Marvel movie, which is going to be before whatever the fuck Avengers blah 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 4 is gonna be. So that's gonna happen. I'm definitely pumped. That's the worst thing about this is now this movie has given me another year to wait. That's the worst feeling. It's like, oh God. Oh, oh, you know what? I thought Empire Strikes Back had a fucking like miserable ending. No, this movie. Look, I love Empire and all respect to Empire. Infinity War just said, "Oh, I'll see your Empire and I'll raise you in Infinity War." Bye bye. Oh, so goddamn good. I can't fathom what I just saw, man. It's directing was great, and the fact that they took all these characters and meshed it together worked amazingly well. Chris Evans as Captain America was great. Even though he was like Captain America is Nomad. Fucking everyone had their own mini storyline that we've seen from previous films, and we all knew they had a reason to attack Thanos, whether it was personal or just don't kill the fucking world. Everyone was great. I still am kind of like on the fence of why the fuck did Black Widow change her hair color. That didn't really. I mean, I guess she needs to be like in disguise or something, but it just looked weird. Like that was my only kind of like, eh. I had a theory that I thought was going to be featured in this, and it wasn't. My theory was they were going to tie in Venom to Infinity War because I would assume since Spider-Man's out in space, he was going to like rub shoulders with a symbiote. And it's symbiote, not symbiote, you fuck. Symbiote. And that would like attach him for like a 1 second. It's like, what the fuck? And he pulls it off. And then maybe Thanos' ship was going to crash, and then like that would land in fucking SF, which is when Venom is set. That's what I thought was going to happen. Didn't happen. So now it just makes me think, how the fuck is Venom going to be tied into this? Because Spider-Man is in Venom, and you're like, what the fuck? So, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Weirdly enough, a lot of Thanos' fucking like army creature things kind of looked a lot like Venom. So I thought they were going to tie that in. Apparently not. So on that note, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and share. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Rants Rico. You can also follow my podcast at Pod Askew. Man, Avengers need to reassemble.